Hello, my friends. Hope you're having a wonderful creative week and you have an amazing weekend ahead of you. Today, I wanted to start by reading you the beginning of a story that I had started writing a little while ago, a story that I think is really important for a lot of us. Legend tells of a mystical land shrouded in the mists of magic and make believe. It's a land where no one is ever surprised, where all is accounted for, and everyone is eternally prepared. Every day, the weather is perfect, whatever your preference, and the people live in complete harmony with each other and with their world. This is the mysterious land called Ready. Ready is not for most mortals, however. The closest some will ever get is almost ready, and the majority will remain nowhere near ready. Ready is a mythical place. Ready is this thing where we believe that, as the story says, there will be no surprises, where we will be ready for anything. It doesn't exist. I like to be prepared when I'm writing a story. I like to be prepared when I'm working on a science writing project. I do my research, I do my reading, I do as much background as I can so that I know what I'm talking about, so that in theory, the process will be easier to write this thing. But the reality is, at some point, I have to start telling this story. I have to start writing, whether I feel ready or not. The mystical land of Ready and my belief that that was my salvation held me back for decades in my storytelling. I would write on my own quietly, but I would never show it to anybody because it was not ready. It was not good. It couldn't possibly be good because I wasn't ready enough. The years that I have procrastinated on projects, the times that I still do, because I still want to believe Ready is out there, this magical land. I don't start on things because I don't feel like I'm ready. I know a lot of people who can't seem to get ready enough to begin working. I had a student several years ago in one of my screenwriting classes, and try as I might, I couldn't get him to actually write any of the assignments. He never started his screenwriting project, and we would talk about it. And what I learned was his story was a fantasy. So he built this humongous world in which his story was going to take place. And as is often the case with fantasy novels and fantasy stories of any type, really, world building is a huge part of it. But the problem was he never felt like he ever fully captured the world in which his story was going to take place, and therefore could never start to tell the story. He never felt he was ready, which was a shame because the world he described to me sounded amazing. I wish he had taken even 10% of the energy he put into world building into telling a story, into exploring how characters in that world live and exchange and conflict and hold relationships and fail spectacularly. But he couldn't do it. He couldn't make himself do it. And I felt bad for him, but I also knew that I was powerless to really do anything other than try to reassure him that starting without being ready was perfectly fine, perfectly acceptable, perfectly normal. We want to be ready because we want to do well. Admirable. We want to be ready because we don't want to be embarrassed, because we're fearful of our talents being insufficient. We want to be ready so that we can achieve our goals as easily, as smoothly as possible. All of that's wonderful. But It's the desire to be ready that often keeps us from accomplishing anything. It's this belief that there is a safe way for us to move forward in the things that matter to us most. And it's because they matter to us most that we want to be ready. Ready is a wonderful ideal. It's paradise. It's Camelot. It's nirvana. It is the comfort you take from pretty much anything, like a puppy in my case, or watching any of my students achieve things they didn't think they were capable of or thought they had lost their mojo, as one of my students said recently, excitedly telling me that being in this class, not that I'm advocating my classes, got him back into that energy of telling stories, even if he knew the stories weren't as good as they could be. He bought into the idea that this was a process, that until words were on the page, nothing was going to happen. The blank page is a terrifying thing for a lot of people. Endless possibility is a terrifying thing. You know, you get situations of fear of missing out. What if I make the wrong choice? Does that mean I'm committed to that? If I'm not committed to that, what was the point of making a choice in the first place? All these things are fears in our heads. Do without being ready. Explore without being ready. Or as ready as you would like to be. Because honestly, ready as I would like to be is a sliding scale. The more ready I am, the more I feel there's more for me to learn to be fully ready. It's a vicious cycle that I spent a lot of years on, never being happy about how ready I was. Thank God for deadlines, or nothing would have happened over the last 40 years, possibly longer. So, do without being ready. Explore without being ready. Try without being ready. What I suspect you'll find is you've been ready for quite some time. You're sufficient. You've lived your life. You've come to this point. You've come to the moment where you're about to start doing whatever it is you're excited about doing. Maybe you don't have all the resources. Maybe you don't have all the tools. Maybe you don't have all the skills. But I suspect you'll find you have more resources. You have more skills. You have better tools than you thought you did. You are ready. But you don't need to be ready to do the thing that brings you joy. Do the things you want to share with the world. Find your Camelot. Find your paradise in whatever it is you do. And know that even if the thing you do is not ready for prime time, is not ready for general consumption, that's okay. It's a process. A thing that is made when you're not ready can be improved upon. The nothing you do for fear of never being ready remains that way. It doesn't have to be perfect. Ready is this desire that something be perfect, that something be perfect. Perfect is actually the best way of saying it. I was going to say easy, but I don't think any of this is ever easy. Perfect. You don't need to be perfect. Just do. Just explore. Just find out. You can perfect things, even if they're not perfect. So get out there, do, whether you're ready or not. Try, whether you're ready or not. Explore, whether you're ready or not. Embrace failing spectacularly, whether you're ready or not. No one's going to think less of you. The majority are not going to think less of you. Those who were going to think less of you already were going to do that regardless. So to heck with them. Let me know. Share this post with anyone you think might need this message about being ready. Leave a comment in wherever to let me know about your own challenges, your own desire to be ready, or your execution of doing things when you weren't ready and how they went. Let's make this a conversation. Creative energies and powers to you all. I hope you have a wonderful, self-expressive weekend, and I look forward to hearing your adventures. Take care, my friends.